right before the sky is in its most magical state, filled with pinks, red oranges, and perfect shades of blue, right before it descends into darkness. Now, in the movie business, this is called magic hour, but I don't know that then. So, right before the sky descends into darkness, an unknown car pulls into our driveway. Well, cars sometimes use our semicircular driveway to turn around, but this car stops. I peek out of the living room window. Huh, the driver's a man. I'm alone. I'm wondering, where are my dogs? They should be barking their heads off. Pax, our wolf dog, is twice the size of a German shepherd. Normally, he'd be growling and barking, exposing his 2-inch incisors. He would put the fear of God in anyone. The dogs are my only defense. Henry and I live in the middle of nowhere in Malden, South Carolina, on Route 276. The closest human is a half-mile up the road at the 7-Eleven. Where are those dogs? In cold blood flashes through my mind. Why did I read that book? The images of the Clutter family in Holcomb, Kansas, slaughtered in their home by 2 ex-cons, Richard Hickok and Perry Smith, have haunted me ever since. All right, stay calm. Stay calm. No, it's no use. My mind flashes Charles Manson, Ted Bundy. The sound of a man's footsteps on gravel. I dart through the kitchen and guest room, sprint down the hall to our bedroom, grab the trusted .38 stashed in the nightstand, the same gun Henry taught me to shoot on the grassy knoll. I've only fired it once. I hit the target. I'm praying that my aim holds out. The crunch of the man's footsteps on the gravel echo in my ears. I grip the cold steel that reassures me. Open the front door, step halfway out onto the porch, holding the Smith & Wesson above my head, like I'm playing Annie Oakley in a spaghetti western. The setting sun glints off my trusty 6-shooter. I say in my best Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry voice, "Sir, I have a gun. May I help you?" Yes, ma'am. I can see that." He stammers as he catches sight of my pistol. I don't want any trouble, ma'am. I'm here from the Census Bureau, and I'd like to ask you a few questions. What? Yeah, right. How stupid does he think I am? Does he think I'm some silly Southern housewife filled with hospitality, like I'm gonna say, "Well, why don't you come right on in, set a spell, take a load off. I'll pour you a nice tall glass of iced tea so you can murder me." Where? Where are those dogs? If I could whistle like my dad, they'd come running, but this isn't a convenient time. I think you best get back in your car and drive away. He does. Standing on the porch with a loaded .38. No dogs in sight. It dawns on me, the bargain I'd made. Henry instead of New York City, safety instead of skyscrapers, a life that looked secure but left me alone to fend for myself. When the car disappears, I go back inside, lock the door. My heart is pounding out of my chest. I pace around the living room to calm myself. I wait a few minutes to ensure the would-be census taker is gone before going outside to call my wayward dogs. Pax and Samantha come bounding over from the pasture behind our house. Hey, where were you guys? Huh? I could have been murdered. You're supposed to be guard dogs, not gallivanting all over the place. Oh, they wag their tails and they hop around. Really? Really? That's your excuse? Fine. Let's go. Time for dinner. When I moved in with Henry, I didn't realize how much time I'd spend alone or that I'd need to fend for myself like some widowed prairie wife. Henry's clothing empire keeps expanding, so he's on the road checking on his stores all over the state. My friends and family live 90 minutes away in Columbia. Okay. My dream is to move to New York City and be an actress. But I have no idea how people do that. I don't know a single soul in New York City. The good news is that once I moved in with Henry, I got a job as an artist in residence at the Metropolitan Arts Council in Greenville as a mime under a CETA grant, and I'm earning a living as a performing artist. Added bonus, I'm out of my parents' house. Henry pays all the bills. I like that. I can use my money any way I want. I'm starting to put together a mime company. Henry is supportive. He's hot. We have great sex. So, yes, I made a bargain. I get to do my art, and I don't have to worry about money. I just didn't realize how often I'd be alone. I didn't think I'd be defending myself and the homestead with a loaded 38 like some frontier woman. When I'm not doing mime or warding off escaped cons and overeager census guys, I'm pretending to be a conventional Southern woman. Yeah, I do laundry, I hang it on the line, bake whole wheat bread from scratch, make strawberry preserves, and drink Tom Collins to keep boredom and the mosquitoes at bay. Yeah, sometimes we make bargains, y'all. It happens. Yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button if you haven't already. It's free. And leave your questions and comments below. This really helps the channel. Plus, I love reading them, responding to them. And I want to give a special shout out to everyone who bought me a coffee. Our special thanks, Rick S., Kevin K., and to all my monthly subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Questions for you guys. 1, have you ever chosen safety over a dream? Do you regret it? 2, what's the biggest life bargain you've ever made? Okay. Check out your questions and comments. Let me see what I got here. Okay, this one's from Stephen R. in Spain. He says, regarding the youths in the car, I would have done the same. Get out and face them. I used to live in a neighborhood of London considered dangerous, and nothing fazed me. I never crossed the road to avoid anyone, well, maybe the crazies. There were incidents, but nothing really. My flatmate once walked through a riot. She was short-sighted and just thought, hey, there are a lot of people out and about. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, when I first moved to New York City in 78, there was so much crime, so much drugs. I had to be on my toes all the time and able to like maneuver myself out of sticky situations. It took a while for me to figure it out. I mean, I had some, you know, I tried to be so tough and mean, but they caught on to me pretty quick. Actually, the guys on the street taught me taught me how to act because they would make fun of me when I was trying to be all tough. They go, girl, that attitude looks stupid on you. I'd be like, oh, okay. Dancing Queenie says, wasn't there a movie about a Quaker and her husband, a gun-toting sheriff, Jimmy Stewart? I had to check that out because, and yes, there is. And the movie is High Noon, one of the most famous movies ever. It's a 1952 Western. High Noon features a town marshal who is married to a Quaker woman. In the film, Marshal Will Kane, played by Gary Cooper, has just married Amy, played by Grace Kelly, a pacifist Quaker. The central conflict of the story is that on their wedding day, a dangerous outlaw is scheduled to arrive on the noon train to seek revenge. Amy, adhering to her nonviolent religious beliefs, begs Will to leave town with her, threatening to leave him if he stays to face the gang. I mean, I watched this movie a million years ago. I need to watch it again. High Noon is considered one of the greatest films of all time, has been selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. High Noon. High Noon, High Noon. All right, this one is from, no, this one is not from anyone. Wait, what happened? Oh, this is from Nikoti. He says, I think you did the right thing in explaining how mimes use whiteface and leaving it at that. Going into other conversations was best left to parents and teachers. I agree. Let the time you had with them be a day of fun and creativity. I think Maurice wanted to go with you because you brought some escapism and happiness to those kids. I hope Maurice is out there still and comes across this story and that he had a good life. Do you think of maybe what kind of impact you may have had on those kids ever, whether you inspired them to a career in the arts? You know, I never really thought about that. I mean, I'm with you. I hope Maurice had a wonderful life and that he sees this film. The chances of that are pretty slim, but the universe has a way of doing things that are pretty incredible. I once taught, I think it was a third grade class. Every kid in the class wrote me a note, a thank you note. I received this big package in the mail. That's when we use snail mail. And it had all these written notes from the kids. That was the sweetest thing ever. I love that. I once worked with a group of kids that were considered bad kids, in a special home where they were. And I went and I met with them and I talked to them. Those kids were incredible. They just needed some attention. They needed to be loved. They needed to be heard. And I really enjoyed that. Oh, he said, since you had the question, your favorite music or artist, I was wondering if you've ever listened to Kate Bush. Kate studied mime and dance on her record company Advance. When she signed with them, she was in her late teens. Wow. Record company thought it would be too much at her age to handle the demands of the business. I agree. Kate studied in London with Lindsay Kemp, who also worked with David Bowie. She uses dance and mime in her early performances. She utilizes mime in her expressions a lot in a silent film star way, but without the silence. Kate, like yourself, is a storyteller. However, she's really her own genre. One song is never like the next. It's best to start at her Hounds of Love album. Most people find it more accessible. Yeah, I had never, well, I really hadn't, I think I'd heard of her, but I didn't know her music. So I went back and listened and watched some of her videos on YouTube. She's amazing. Turns out she did the song Running Up That Hill. It's a 37-year-old song that was featured in Stranger Things. They're estimating that The song has now made $2.3 million. I love that. So yay, Kate. Way to go. Way to go, way to go. I love that. All right. Okay, this is from J Stone 247. Thank you for another installment of your interesting life story. Why did you not remove the white face makeup before setting off home? Did the two guys who cut you off explain or apologize for their actions? No, they did not. I didn't care. I was just happy to get out of there. Why didn't I take it off? Could have been a number of reasons. I mean, when you take it off, well, first of all, now I'm in this, because at the end of each class, what I would do is I would perform for them. It would kind of break the spell if I took it off, but also the fact that there's no, you have to have, I use this heavy, thick cold cream to get it off, and you need to like wash it all, and then you have to moisturize and do it's a whole process. Otherwise, it's just going to dry your skin out, and you're going to be like, I guess I didn't live that far away, probably, I don't know, 20 minutes. So I just got in the car and went home. I just knew it would be easier for me to do that instead of spending another 30 minutes there taking off my makeup and dealing with it. I think that's why. All right. This is from Remedy Hawk. Isn't mime the foundation to clown makeup like Harlequin is to being a clown in the first place? Yes, it is. It started back with the Greeks because those amphitheaters, they were so far away that it helped you to see their faces better. Yeah, it moved. I mean, Commedia dell'arte used it, and then it just moved up to clowns and Perrault, which was a character in France that did pantomime, and that character had a white face. Well, supposedly, there was Joseph Grimaldi, considered the father of modern clowning, created his iconic white face makeup design in the early 1800s, replacing naturalistic looks with a grotesque, exaggerated appearance. White base with red cheeks, eyebrows, large lips, that's still used today. His Joey character elevated the clown to a starring role in British pantomimes. So, yeah, it's been around a long time. This is from, how do you say this? It looks like it could be, looks like none, none, one none. Oh, wait a minute, maybe it's just none. N-O-N-E, N-O-N-E. One, N-O-N-E, one. Okay, so it's none, 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 one. It's all spelled out. All right. Peggy King. Okay, this is from my video that I did about Donald Trump, my experience with him and when he was in the dressing room, when I did a modeling gig at Trump Tower. Peggy King was appearing at his casino, meaning Trump, and she described him coming into the dressing room and molesting the showgirls. But when he came after her, she kicked at him and he left her alone. What might that tell you? Well, it tells me he's a bully. Well, he's a predator. He's also a bully. Bullies are cowards. And when you stand up to them, they usually back off. I mean, they might be abusive to you verbally or something, but they usually back off. So good for her. Our culture needs to teach girls to stand up for themselves and not put up with this BS. Now, I didn't know much about Peggy King. So I did a little Google search and it says Peggy King is an American jazz singer who is a member of several big bands, including one led by Charlie Spivak, Ralph Flanagan, Ray Anthony. So she was a big band singer. Very good. All right. Anything else I wanted to? Oh, yes, I did. All right. Continuing on with Trump, I don't remember who it was, but one of the people that watch the channel and comment told me about this book. It's called All the President's Women, Donald Trump and the Making of a Predator. I bought it. I read it. So it says, with groundbreaking interviews, behind the scenes reporting, and never before seen photos, All the President's Women records 43 new allegations of sexual misconduct against President Trump, including that of E. Jean Carroll, the woman at the center of the civil trial that found Trump liable for sexual abuse in 2023. So it's a very eye-opening account. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I did a recording of this last week. I recorded this. I didn't put it on. Anyway, I'm putting it on here now. It's just about thieves oil. It's good during this time of year when people start getting sick. I've been using it. My friend Carol told me about it. That's why I'm wearing something different in this video, because I did it last week. Although I also wanted to tell you guys about friend Carol told me about thieves oil. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? The Legend of the Four Thieves, a folk tale about four thieves who survived the Black Death in 17th century France by using special herbal concoction, and then revealed the recipe in exchange for leniency. The formula, often called Four Thieves, was believed to have protective properties against the plague and has since been adapted into modern essential oils and other products. All right, so I found it on Amazon. You want to make sure it's organic. And this is so reasonably priced. It's from Silk Road Organic Protector Essential Oil Immunity Blend, based on Thieves Oil Legend, 100% pure, USDA certified. Okay, it says clove bud, lemon, cinnamon bark, rosemary, eucalyptus. I love the smell of it. I love the frickin' smell of it. Because these thieves, what they did is they went around and robbed all the dead people. And the reason why they were able to do it is because they had this concoction would not get the plague when everybody was dying of the plague. You guys might want to check it out. I started using it. I put it on the soles of your feet. It absorbs there. I put it like I'm wearing perfume here. The pulse places, it has a name. But anyway, so I just wanted to let you know about that. Now that it's cold in New York and people start getting sick and they start coughing on you or sneezing on you, and I left a link in the description box below if you're interested. Okay, good. Okay, you guys, I think that's everything for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comments and questions in the section below. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Okay. Mwah! All right, take care.